Today we're going to learn about solving inequalities by multiplication. Multiplying by a negative number flips the inequality while a positive number does not. So let's solve this first problem here. If we were to multiply both sides by 2, we can isolate x on the right hand side. So this would be 8 is greater than or equals to x. If we were to graph this on the number line, it would be any value that's 8 or less than it. So it would look like this. Let's label this first problem A, the second problem B, and this one C. So A would be here. So we have 8 is greater than or equals to x. Now in the first problem, the inequality was not affected because we multiplied by a positive number. But the second problem, we deal with a negative number. And so the inequality is going to have to flip here. Now, in order to isolate x, we need to multiply negative 2/3 x over 3 by its reciprocal. So it's going to be negative 3 over 2. This way, when we multiply negative 3 over 2 times negative 2 over 3, we're going to get x by itself. And so we have to do this on both sides. So we're going to get x is less than or equals to negative 18 over 2. Now, you might think this is correct, but we forgot about flipping the inequality. So this is not right. It's going to be x is greater than or equals to, and negative 18 over 2 is going to be negative 9. So that's going to be our answer here. So we're saying x can take any value that's greater than negative 9. So the graph is going to look something like this, and b is going to be here. Let's see why flipping the inequality works. So because this graph includes any value that's greater than negative 9, that means if we took negative 6, for example, it would work, right? So let's take negative 6 and plug it back into the equation. So here we're going to plug in negative 6 for x, and we're going to get 12 over 3 is less than or equals to 6. This is equivalent to 4 is less than or equals to 6. And this checks out. This works. So we've proven that the inequality does get flipped here. If it were the opposite and x were less than or equals to negative 9, that assumes that, for example, negative 10 would work. But if we inputted negative 10 for x instead, we'd get 20 over 3 is less than or equal to 6. And this is almost 7, which is way bigger than 6. So this does not work here. So let's try our last one here, and we got to isolate for x. So we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of negative 3 over 8, which is going to be negative 8 over 3 on both sides. So we're going to get negative 40 over 3 is flip the reciprocal less than or equals to x, because we're multiplying by a negative 8 over 3. And I'm not going to graph it because it goes off the graph, but you get the point.